asking questions again.
Okay, so my minor at BYU, where I did learn some true principles, was in the political science department, actually. I took some classes from a gentleman named, I can't remember his first name, Dr. Betterly. Totally awesome.
Oh, Richard Betterly.
Yes, Richard Betterly. I love him. Yes. And one of the classes I took was on natural law. We had to read this pamphlet called Homosexuality and the Natural Law, which just happens to be very timely with everything happening. The homosexuality thing and the natural law, where we're talking about law tonight. And anyway, it just encompassed so many of the principles of this class. I was really, anyway, I think it's interesting. So this is a collection of letters, really. There's a man also named Harry Jaffa, and that's who wrote these letters. Harry Jaffa is a defender of natural law. However, he found himself in the Claremont colleges. In fact, he was just about to retire. And they were becoming more and more liberal. And just to give you an idea, they had a week every year where they celebrated, it was called Glad Week. They celebrate gay and lesbian, something is what GLAD stood for. And some of the students posted, in response, posted signs for recognition of Bestiality and Incest Week. They are the ones against the homosexual thing. They were just trying to show how ridiculous it was.
To have Glad Week.
Yes.
Well, the administration
Freaked out.
came down really hard on the students, told them that this was just intolerable, absolutely not okay. And Harry Jaffa was like, "Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Really? Like, really? These are on the same plane here." But obviously his opinion was not popular.
With the administration, at least.
So I really like what's in the preface because I really think it gets to the root of our problems in society today. He says, fellow citizens require a common moral vocabulary, perhaps especially in a regime founded on self-evident truths. He says, the self-evidence of such truths is contingent, of course, on our understanding of the definitions of their terms. And I have come to understand this is our problem. Our society does not understand the definitions of the terms as the founders understood them or as the people who lived that did. And so he says, and this just puts it in such perspective, he says, an elephant is self-evidently stronger than a mouse only when we know what an elephant is what a mouse is. Makes sense, right? And you can see the huge difference there. Well, the difference in our definitions today of morality is so hugely different that nobody's talking on the same plane. There's not communication happening.
Even the definition of morality.
Exactly. So all men are self-evidently created equal in their rights of life, to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness only when we grasp the definitions of men, life, liberty, and happiness. So that's the foundation of the whole thing. And then I just have to share, because we're talking about freedom and liberty and the difference, he starts out one of his letters, one of the girls, so he wrote this letter saying that the administration should be fired, or no, he said they should resign because they were not open thinking, they were not, they're being closed off in one way. And of course several people wrote letters to the editor about, in response to his letter. And he says, and one of them wrote, Jaffa would deny homosexuals the right to live their lives the way they choose. Jaffa wishes to establish an ethical standard, but in doing so is actually denying some people their rights. Now, how ethical is that? So he goes into a discussion of rights here, and what he does, do you remember who Ted Bundy was? You remember? And you know who he was, Landon?
I think